Grant writing. It's just one of those things, isn't it? It's the absolute backbone of the nonprofit world, but wow, it can be a grueling process.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about precision, endless research, and processes that can feel agonizingly slow.
Right. And you spend so much time just trying to get the funds to do the mission instead of, actually doing the mission.
It's a huge resource drain. Every single nonprofit knows that feeling.
Exactly. But what we're looking at today, well, the source material suggests we're finally at a real inflection point. We're talking about a massive technological overhaul of the whole grant process.
And this isn't just about, sending emails a bit faster. This is about advanced AI, deep data analysis, specialized databases.
All of it. These tools are fundamentally changing how organizations find, write, and secure their funding.
It's a move from just optimizing things to a full-on transformation. So for this deep dive, we want to give you that expert shortcut. We'll get into the specific tools that are really separating the most effective nonprofits from the ones still kind of stuck in the past.
Our mission is simple. Unpack the tech, but also, and this is critical, give you the strategic warnings. The things that really make the difference between success and failure in this new landscape. Before we jump in, though, a quick note. If you want to put all this into practice and are looking for educational videos or other deep resources on grant proposal writing, a great place to start is Grants.Courses. It's really tailored to get you up to speed fast.
Okay, so let's start with strategy, because the tech is exciting, but our sources are very clear on this. There are two major warnings you have to heed, or you're just setting yourself up for failure.
And the first one feels foundational, especially when we're talking about AI. It's simply check the tech.
It sounds so obvious, doesn't it? But as these AI tools get better and better at sounding, authoritative, it becomes really tempting to just rubber stamp what they produce.
I can see that. You just want to move on to the next thing.
Exactly. And the sources point out that while AI is great for a first draft or refining tone, it very often introduces factual errors, hallucinations even. Or it might just completely misinterpret a funder's specific compliance rule.
So you can't rely on it to be 100% correct. The human role shifts from being the writer to being the lead editor, the fact checker.
That's exactly. You're still the one on the hook for compliance and accuracy, even if a machine did 80% of the writing.
Got it. Okay, so what's the second warning?
The second one is purely strategic, and it's about the temptation of speed. And that is, don't spam.
So just because technology lets you submit 100 proposals in a day doesn't mean you should.
Please don't. The goal has to be quality wins, not just the number of submissions.
But I can see the logic, Submit 10 times more, maybe you get 10 times the funding. It seems to make sense on the surface.
It seems like it, but it's a mistake that can really damage your reputation. Funders, especially foundations, see thousands of proposals. If they get one that is just clearly not aligned with their mission.
Like sending an arts proposal to a science foundation.
Exactly that. They immediately see that you haven't done your homework, and they remember that.
And then you've not only wasted everyone's time, but you might have burned that bridge for a future proposal that actually is a good fit.
It's a waste of staff time on both sides.
Yeah.
And mission alignment remains the single most important factor. Technology should be used to find better alignment, not just to send more stuff out there.
That context is so important. So with those warnings in mind, strategy and oversight are human jobs. Let's get to the fun part, the actual tech across the grant lifecycle. Where do we start? Phase one?
Phase one, efficient grant research. And this has changed immensely.
Okay, so how is this different from just, getting better at Googling?
Oh, it's a whole different world. We're talking about specialized grant databases. Many are subscription-based, but they've become these incredibly powerful data parsing tools.
Data parsing, what does that mean in practice? What can they filter for?
Well, the best ones go way beyond just keywords. They can automatically analyze public filings, like the IRS 990 forms for thousands of foundations.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you can filter by, say, their average grant size, where they give money geographically, or, and this is the killer feature, the specific language they've used in past successful grant descriptions.
Wait. So you can basically reverse engineer what a funder actually cares about by seeing who they gave money to last year.
Precisely. You're not guessing anymore. You have concrete evidence. It turns research from a scavenger hunt into like a targeted intelligence operation. You find those hyper-specific opportunities you would have missed otherwise.
That's a game changer. Okay, let's move to phase two. Writing and accuracy. Now, we all know clarity is key. And everyone uses spell check. What's the next level here?
The next level is almost entirely about advanced AI drafting. And these tools are moving way beyond just grammar. They're focusing on tone, consistency, compliance.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. You could feed an AI say, a 50-page annual report from your organization and ask it to generate a concise 4-paragraph summary, but you can also tell it to maintain a professional yet empathetic tone for a social services grant.
Okay, so that solves that first draft bottleneck, and it keeps the voice consistent, even if you have 5 different people contributing bits and pieces.
Yes. And some of these systems even have compliance features built in. You can input the funder's specific checklist, and the AI will flag sections in your draft that don't address a point or where your jargon might be confusing. It really focuses your writing on what the funder needs to hear.
That leads perfectly into phase 3, which feels like where the real magic happens: data, analysis, and personalization.
This is the single greatest leverage point that technology offers. It's where you use sophisticated data to build a really compelling evidence-based case.
So we're moving beyond just telling a good story. We're talking about bringing the receipts.
Exactly. A lot of nonprofits are now using in-house databases, CRM tools, to track all their program metrics. Outcomes, reach, cost per person served, all of it.
Right.
So if you can track your client outcomes over 5 years and show, statistically, our program led to a 20% increase in employment, that data is just so much more powerful than any story you could tell. And the tech lets you pull those trends instantly.
And how does that connect back to personalizing it for the funder?
You bridge the two. So you use those research tools from phase 1 to know what the funder's priorities are. Then you use your internal data to map your proven results directly onto their mission.
Ah, that's brilliant. So you're literally saying, we see you care about X, and here's the hard data that proves we achieve X.
You're not just hoping for an overlap. You're showing them the quantifiable intersection point. You're essentially giving the funder the exact language and data they need to go justify funding you to their own board. It changes everything.
Okay, so finally, phase 4, the nuts and bolts: collaboration and management. Proposals get messy with lots of people involved. How is tech stopping the chaos?
The key here is really the boom in cloud-based platforms and what some people call grant easy management software.
So getting away from endless email chains and final draft, V7, final.
Yes, thank goodness. Now everyone can work on the same document at the same time from anywhere. All the input is integrated in real time. It ensures everyone is, as our source material says, literally and figuratively on the same page.
And what about the management side of it? The deadlines, the follow-ups?
That's where the software really automates the administrative headache. It can log the entire life cycle for every proposal. It tracks who's responsible for what, sends deadline reminders, manages all the required documents.
It's basically a project manager.
A mission-critical project manager, yeah. It dramatically reduces the chance that something important just falls through the cracks.
Okay, so if we zoom out, what's the big picture here? When an organization puts all these pieces together, the smart research, the AI writing, the data, the management, what's the result?
The collective impact is just this dramatic increase in both efficiency and effectiveness. You identify the right funders, you speed up the writing, you improve the quality with real data.
And you automate all those little admin tasks, which frees up your people to do the high-level strategic work.
And the end result is clear. You secure more funding.
Which is the whole point.
It is. The technology isn't the mission, it's the accelerator that lets the nonprofit achieve its mission.
This leaves us with a really interesting question for the future, and this is what we want you to think about after this deep dive. Given how fast AI is automating things like research and drafting, what does the future relationship between the human grant writer and the technology even look like?
Does the human just become a strategist, an editor, an ethics officer? Or will AI get so good that it starts to diminish the need for that deep human expertise in telling the story? Is AI ultimately a friend or maybe a foe in the long run?
That's a huge question, and the answer is going to shape so much in the coming years.
It really is.
Wow. Okay, so to recap, we covered the critical warnings, check the tech, don't spam, and then we walked through how technology is empowering every stage, from intelligent research to AI-assisted writing, data-driven personalization, and streamlined management.
The takeaway really is that this technology is no longer a nice-to-have. It's essential for maximizing your funding and just for keeping pace.
And if you're ready to take that next step, remember that this deep dive is just the beginning. For educational videos and more resources, like on specific AI tools for grant writing, or how to build program logic models, or even reviews of grant easy management software, go to grants.courses.
That's grants.courses. It has everything you need to really transform your strategy.
We'll catch you next time for the next deep dive.
Until then.